Welcome to another episode of Iwing Marketplace Chit Chat, where we give the opportunity for entrepreneurs to talk about themselves and what they do. Today we are with Modoh Wanda, and this is the second time she's on Iwing Marketplace Chit Chat. Let me read you a little bit of her background. Modoh Wanda is the CEO of African Fashion Week. And she's a first generation American with Cameroonian and Nigerian roots. She comes from a lineage of royalty. She was named after her great grandmother, Queen Modoh, who ruled the Tika people in the late 18th century. Wow, royalty. We have royalty in our midst. So she's a graduate from the University of Phoenix with a degree in business management. And we can see she has put that degree to work by being not only a model, but a guru when it comes to, entrepreneurship. Thanks for joining us today, Dolores.
Hi, everyone.
So how are you doing? How is it going on in Minnesota?
I'm doing good. Right now, we are getting ready for African Fashion Week, which begins in September. But tomorrow we have our designer casting call, and so that's our next upcoming kind of event for our week. And basically, what a designer casting call is, we're asking everybody that's local to Minnesota to come to Ayadio Fashion. He has a store in Blaine. And what we want is for designers to come in, show us some samples of their work so we can kind of see it, feel it, try it on. And then we'll begin to cast the designers. And then after we cast the designers this month, we cast models next month.
Okay, so when you say cast designers, some of us are new to this fashion week thing.
Sure.
What does it mean to cast designers?
Yes. So basically it's just a fancy term for you're in the show, right? If we like your designs, if we like what you show us, come tomorrow, you're in the show. And then based off how many designs you can give us, that's how many models we can place in your lineup.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, can you please tell us what a fashion week is all about? Some of us are not familiar with the term fashion week.
So a fashion week, basically it's a week filled with fashion and marketing events and anything with like culture, anything with like the arts. So Fashion Week, that name alone that's like a global phenomenon. Like you've heard of London Fashion Week, Paris Fashion Week, and then in the States, you hear of New York Fashion Week, right? There's even like LA Fashion Week. And so now what we're doing is we're bringing Fashion Week to Minnesota, but we're giving it a cultural twist again with the culture word African Fashion Week.
Right.
So, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So tell us more. When is the Minnesota Fashion Week coming? And what are the characteristics or what usually happens during the Fashion Week?
Yeah, so for our Fashion Week specifically, we are beginning again September 9 through the 14th. Mm-hmm. And so we begin on a Monday, and then we're going to end on a Saturday. And so that whole week, we're going to have multiple shows towards the weekend. But during the week itself, we're going to have 2 to 3 kind of art-based or cultural-based kind of networking events. And so it's going to be based around food. It's going to be based around the arts, like I just said. It's going to be based around meeting kind of some important dignitaries that are actually royals themselves, that are local kind of to the Midwest. So we'll get to meet them in person, which will be really, really exciting. What else can I tell you? I don't want to tell you too much. But what's interesting though about, I want to tell you just a little bit of history. What's interesting about African Fashion Week, it's not like, it's not new. It's new for Minnesota, but it's not new to our neighboring states. I'm very good buddies with the CEO of African Fashion Week Omaha. And so actually they just had their event not too long ago, their week. And so me and their CEO have been discussing and like just kind of networking. And we've just been talking about how it went. And so it's just fun to see like our neighboring states, right? Nebraska is to the south of Minnesota, It's fun to see that we're all kind of embracing this beautiful like culture that a lot
Right.
of maybe a lot of American citizens don't really kind of know about us, right? Us
Right.
as a whole, like we're a whole continent, right? Our
Hmm.
parents, well, my parents, for example, have come over to the States, and me and my siblings are considered first gen. And
Right.
so it's fun to kind of all the stories that we heard as kids growing up and all the traditions and customs. It's you'll
Hmm.
see in this fashion week for us coming in September.
Wow, that's beautiful. And we have designers all over the US,
All
you
over,
know.
all over.
So,
We are
like, if
very,
someone is, let's say, in Maryland, and then they want to be part of the
oh yeah.
African Fashion Week,
Oh, yeah.
Minnesota, what's the procedure, and what do they need to do to be part of it?
Sure. So I can actually have you drop a link later on, but I want them to fill out our designer casting call link, right?
That's the
And,
website.
oh,
Mhm.
yeah. And so so that it brings you to your paperwork as a designer that you need to fill out, and then we just want to know more about your brand, right? More about who your target consumer is, what's your price point, right? How much do your clothes sell for usually? We want to know about kind of your experience, right? How many shows have you showcased at in the last year? So kind of like more technical questions. And then there is part of that form, you can actually send your photos, right? You can send your photos to us so we can even begin to see some samples. So
Mhm.
even if you can't join us tomorrow in person, the form is still a very viable option for you to still be involved.
So the form is on your website, the
It is.
African Fashion Week.
It is, yep. So if you go to our main website at africanfashionweekmn.org, you'll
Mhm.
see a tab known as I believe it's named designers, right? Or designer casting call. And so you
Right.
click it and then it goes straight to that link. Yeah.
Right. So, for people who are just coming to attend, right? Uh, what are they going to get from this fashion week?
So you are going to get a lot of, I think you're going to get a very unique experience. I think our fashion week it varies from the others in Minnesota, but I can give you a chit chat exclusive if you want it, Ivan.
Yeah.
Give
Go
you a
ahead.
chit chat exclusive.
Mhm.
So we are actually partnering up, or one of our partners
Mhm.
will be Latino Fashion Week Minnesota. So let me give you a little history about Latino Fashion Week. So
Mhm.
they before COVID, they were going pretty strong, right? They are about 5 years old, but once COVID hit, they kind of had to slow down in production. So now, as they have kind of seen us come up, right?
Yeah.
Their CEO reached out to me, and now we have this joint collaboration for the fall. And we are
Beautiful.
going to, as they support us, we are going to support them. And we are going to have it's going to be almost like a joint show. It's going
Beautiful.
to be two separate events, but kind of
Mhm.
like a joint collaboration.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. You invited me once at New York Fashion Week, which I was so excited. I was so
Yeah.
happy, and that was the first time I was there. So, is it going to be like the same thing where they're going to be like different events
Oh
in
yes. Oh my
different
goodness.
places
It's going to
going
be
on?
one big party. We're going to have musicians. We're going to have um of course food, of course drinks, right? We're
Mhm.
going to have live entertainment. We'll have DJs, we'll have spoken word, we'll have kind of all these like beautiful attributes of like a show, right? That you would maybe go
Mhm.
pay money to go see.
Right.
Like for us, it would be like if we went to go see like a big artist that came into town at the Target Center. We're giving
Right.
you kind of like that big type of feel at our individual fashion showcases. Yes.
Right. So, it's open to the general public, right?
Oh yes. Oh yes. We
In
have
order for them to
general
attend, they
admission.
have to buy. People have to buy let's say tickets. If I want to
Yes.
attend,
Yeah, so
like,
we have
how to
general
get.
admission seating and then we have VIP seating. So even right now on our website, we are
Mhm.
pre-registering or you can pre-buy your ticket, right? Even though we don't have our shows listed quite yet, you can
Mhm.
pre-buy your ticket so at least you know you have your seat.
Right.
Yes.
So it's going on from the 9 to the 14,
Yes. Correct.
and each day there's a complete different event, or is how does it work?
Yep, each day is a complete different event. During the week is again our cultural events,
Hmm.
either around art, either
Hmm.
around meeting some dignitaries, like I had said before, royal
Hmm.
dignitaries,
Hmm.
or just about the culture in general. You know, we
Yeah.
really do, as African Fashion Week Minnesota, we really strive to encourage, to teach people about where it is or why it is that we feel Africa is so unique, you know.
Mhm.
So you'll get some of that during the week, and then on the weekend, that Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we have back-to-back shows.
Nice.
Yes.
And when the shows are going on, like the musical show, will people be able to, like designers, right?
Mm-hmm.
They will be able to showcase their
Oh yeah.
designs
Oh yeah.
in the midst of everything.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Our designers work very hard and they
Mm.
are very skilled. And so we want to make sure their clothing gets as much attention as possible.
Right. So what are the benefits? Like, take for example, are there some small? Is it open for small designers that are not really big?
Oh yeah,
And
we
if
are
those small
represented.
designers want to join, what are the benefits that they can get?
Sure. So the benefits are you will be able to have your work seen. You'll be able to actually sell your pieces at the conclusion of each show. You'll be
Mhm.
able to have your pieces photographed.
Mhm.
You'll be able to just kind of get, if you are, I think this is absolutely great for beginning designers to have your work showcased on a big scale.
Right.
So I recommend to not just designers local to Minnesota, but of course out of state. This is a great way to gain exposure, and on some very beautiful models, might I add. So
Tell us a little bit about yourself and your experience with attending different fashion week. What have you learned so far from other fashion week that you want to introduce to, you know, African Fashion Week Minnesota?
sure. So I would say I think I spend the most time with where my work takes me as a runway model. I spend the most time in New York. And
Mhm.
so, as with being in New York as many times as I have for the multiple fashion weeks that they have there, and New
Right.
York does it biannually. So there's usually a show like in the spring, summer, and then in the fall, winter, right?
Mhm.
And so I'm taking that type of vibe, if you will, and I'm bringing it to Minnesota. So we're making sure that even, for instance, even with our models alone, even if they have no experience, we're making sure that we teach them properly. Me and my team are making sure that we teach them properly how to walk to not only showcase themselves the best, but also what the designers want them to wear. So everybody kind of gets a piece of this, if you will. And so we're bringing like the technique, right, with the models. We're
Right.
bringing like the theater kind of feel that you would go into like a show in like Tribeca, for example, or like in Brooklyn.
Right.
So we're bringing that all to Minnesota. So
Oh,
everybody,
beautiful.
watch out.
Beautiful. Do you have, can you give us some of the designers that you've already, or that is
uh,
top secret for now?
I don't know if I can give you that list. I can't give you that exclusive yet. Not quite.
Good, good.
But maybe you should have me come back, and then I can give you a full blown.
Definitely, definitely. We have to keep putting the word out there for people to understand, and
Yes.
to keep reminding them about, September 9, which is going to be big in
Yes.
Minnesota.
Yes.
Wow. Guys, if you're in Minnesota or around Minnesota, make sure you visit the website, African Fashion Week Minnesota.org, and you see the fantastic job they're already doing. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a great event.
Yes. Yes. We
I'm
are. We are.
excited.
So
Mhm. So, what else have you learned so far in your field as a model?
you know what I've learned? I've learned some great character building blocks.
Mhm.
Whenever you want to do something in life, I say give it your all, right? Give it your
Wow.
100%. Be diligent, show up, do the work, have a positive attitude, you know? And
Right.
I really believe in not just in our individual careers, but also in life. What you put in is what you will get out. And
Nice.
positivity, I believe in the power of positivity. I'm
Nice.
going to add that as well. Yeah.
So, what motivates you? Like when things are getting hard, especially organizing an event like African Fashion Week Minnesota. What's the drive towards these events?
The drive is for us to be just I want greater Minnesota to be aware of the people that live within the state. I want the greater Minnesota to know there is a very big African population, a very big I think as we're like becoming a melting pot, if you will, not just with the African population, but with the Latinos, with like Russians, with just different minority groups. And I
Right.
want people to just kind of, I want to create a sense of unity, right? I want to create open dialogue. I want to create a space where we can all feel reflected in the clothes that we wear.
Right.
And again, like with the designer casting call tomorrow, we know it's not just African designers that will be coming. It's designers from all over the world, from all walks of life. And so that type of diversity is what we're striving to show Minnesota, and what's so beautiful about our state.
Wow, that's really nice. So, like, if you're a designer and you don't need to worry about bringing your own model, there'll be model there that can wear your designs. From
Oh
what
yeah.
I'm getting.
Oh yes. What I can share with you, since we went live
Mhm.
on our website, which is about 3 weeks ago, we have had a high rate of models just signing up, wanting to be a part. So I can definitely tell you we have enough models for each designer that will be in the show. Yes.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And some more little information about yourself. Which of the what's the difference between New York Fashion Week, Milan Fashion Week, and Paris Fashion Week, and which is your favorite of all of them?
Yes. I think it's the style, right? Just even the style of how we as models are, how we're dressed on the runway. So the styles are very, very different. And what I think? I think from being in Europe to being in the States, I really do prefer like the European kind of feel, like the Parisian vibes, if you will. I love Paris Fashion Week. Makeup always looks so intense. I think the hair is always it's almost like my hair now, but always slicked back. Like I just love different type of like aesthetics.
So
And
which
I
is,
feel
go ahead, go ahead.
yeah, and I feel like in New York, my hair is always kind of down and like curly and out. Whereas again, like with the slick back in Paris, it's kind of more like refined, more like Parisian high class society. So I kind of love that feel in general. New York is cool though. New York is my place.
So your
So
favorite is
I'm here to
your
New York.
favorite is Paris.
Yeah.
Guys, if you're
And the
watching
style
this,
of walk, I would say that too. How you walk is very different in each city.
oh wow.
Mhm.
Wow, I never knew that. Guys, if you're watching this interview, we're talking about the African Fashion Week Minnesota, which will be coming on on September 9 to September 14.
Yes.
So make sure you get your tickets. Make sure you follow African Fashion Week on Instagram to see the preparation towards this big event. Dolores, do you have any other thing to add?
Just again, just follow our pages. We are on Facebook as African Fashion Week MN. On Instagram, we are same thing, African Fashion Week MN. Just continue to follow our growth and our progress, and we will see you in September. Design, I'll see you tomorrow.
So again, give us more information about the designer casting call. What is going to be happening during that casting call?
Yes. So tomorrow we are having a local call. So anybody in Minnesota or in the surrounding states that can get to us, we are meeting at Ayadio Fashion. We'll be sure to make sure you get the address in after the show. But it's from 12 to 5. And what we want you to do is come, show us samples of your work, and the team and I will decide if we can showcase, right? And we just want to see what you can maybe like expand on. Like, let's say you bring us 3 pieces. Perhaps we can have you make more pieces before our September show. So we're willing to work with you as well, and a great opportunity for beginning designers.
And for designers that are not in Minnesota that love to take part, how can they get connected?
Yeah, so go on our website again, AfricanFashionWeekMN.org. I'll have you click on the designer tab. When you click on that tab, it goes directly to the paperwork you need to fill out. In that paperwork, you'll be able to virtually send us some samples of your clothing, and then we'll have our team respond back.
Good, good, good.
Yes.
Beautiful, guys. So stay tuned. This is just the first interview of a series that is about to come, where we'll be talking about modeling, we'll be talking about African Fashion Week Minnesota. Stay tuned, guys, and make sure to share this video, subscribe to Iwing Marketplace YouTube channel, and please go follow African Fashion Week Minnesota to see the amazing things that are behind the scene.
Yes.
Thanks again for joining us, Dolores, and I hope this has been able to, this has been good.
Thank you for having me. Oh my goodness, you have to have me back. This was so much fun.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. My pleasure. Thanks, guys, for watching. Stay tuned. All right.